why is it that we can feel a certain way if it's Monday, but yet if it's Friday night, it feels all right, right? I mean, it's like, it's all about perspective. Hi, this is Daniel Lakstins, and you're listening to the Ultimate Reality Surfing Program. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that way you can always get this awesome content for helping you to create the best life ever. Welcome to the Ultimate Reality Surfing Program. I'm your host, Daniel Lakstins, and we're so happy you're here. I've got my buddy, that's my co-host, Todd Ronan. Todd, welcome to the Ultimate Reality Surfing Program.
Thanks, Daniel. How you doing? Good weekend.
Oh, I had a great week. Well, I'm having a great weekend, actually. Hey, we're working on the weekend. What's going on? Hey, it's all about perspective, though, right?
That's true.
And that's kind of an interesting thing to think about, too, when you're thinking about, you know, that today is Monday. Oh, it's just another manic Monday, right? I mean, it's like, well, why is it that we can feel a certain way if it's Monday, but yet if it's Friday night, it feels all right, right? I mean, it's like, it's all about perspective. Why would we even know whether today is a Saturday or if it's a Monday? What do you think about this stuff?
Well, it's true. You accept the most common force that they're trying to put on you to say, this is how you should feel on this day. This is how you should feel on this day. Here's the news events for this day. But look back a year ago and look at the news events from a year ago. How do they affect you? They really don't. And so you need to shift your perspective to say, this is not going to affect me. This is not going to bring me down. I'm always in an uplifted state. And just by changing that focus, you can kind of elevate yourself in any predicament you're in.
Exactly. So that's the whole point of this episode, is that we want you to be able to take control of this whole perspective that you're having. So in life, we're being programmed, right? We're programmed from our parents, or we're programmed from, well, even all of us have been programmed by the Gregorian calendar. Or are we on the Gregorian calendar? No, we're not. But the point is, which calendar are we on?
The lunar calendar? We do use that one still?
Yeah, there we go. So, and that's the point, though. Now, granted, a lot of these perspectives, or a lot of these mechanisms that were created, well, they're created for the farmers, they're created for business, and they're really nice, though. Functional. They're functional. We can help know where we are in the stream of time. We can help to count our time, see how many days it's been. How old am I? So we're programmed. But the thing is that perspective may not be totally ours. But now we're just talking about some of these perspectives that we're programmed with, but there's more perspectives that we can shift out of. And we want to talk about some of those. You want to start us off, Ronan? What are some things?
Well, you said time. The thing that bothers me is I was looking at the calendar, and March 13th, 2023, they're going to steal an hour from us. It's the thieves that come in the night and they steal that hour away from you. So it's only been like 5 months that they give us that extra hour in the year. And that's one of the things that infuriates me, because as somebody that is centered and knows where they are in time, I always know what time it is. I always know where I'm at. I have a grounding to the earth and I know what time it is. And then when they change that, oh man, it drives me crazy for a month. I can't get grounded. It takes me a month, but jet lag is fine. If I go to a different place, they change the time, I'm okay with that. But when they steal that hour away, man.
So now, it's fall back and then spring forward. And so when we fell back, we gained an extra hour, right? But
you don't get it for the full month or the full year, the full half year. It's, it's only 5 months out of your 12 months. So that's another construct that they try to push on you to say, here's what time it is. Well, no, now here's what time it is. No, now here's what time it is.
But the truth is the reason why is that there's a British dude in England. He was walking down the street at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sun was bright and shiny. And he's like, this is ridiculous. All these people are still sleeping in bed because they think it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He says, if we spring it forward, why am I doing an Australian accent? All right. Quite right. It's not a very proper thing. So we should wake these people up. Soltefeuille, yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
so look at the constructs that you have in your day-to-day life and look at how many authorities are pushing upon you something, whether it's what's news, what's the current trend with clothes, what's the current fashion with cars, what's the current ring fashion, and just see how many of those that you adopt. And then look inside and see what you feel inside. What's it telling you inside internally about that fashion or that trend or that control mechanism?
and then search your feelings is what you're also saying, isn't it, Todd? Because if we're searching that, when we look inside, we're searching our feelings. If you're feeling pressure about certain things, then maybe it might be an idea to reprogram that part of you and take control of your life. And then you can shift and create the perspective that you feel is more appropriate.
Yeah, I feel like all those outward perspectives are pulling you away from inside. And inside is much, much deeper than outside. And when you can turn your focus, in and stop being distracted by everything outside, you find like an infinite perspective that's your own, that's unique to you.
Mm-hmm. And then once you do that, then you're also even more attractive to the outside. Everyone outside then actually can see who you really are instead of seeing that you're just reflecting the world's perspective or something.
Well, sometimes you changing your perspective to your own gets people angry, and they'll be kind of railing against you, and they'll, just because you're not a conformist. People like conformity, but they don't like non-conformity. So be prepared.
I hear about this perspective. Hey, I hear about this perspective of yours, but the truth is I have not ran into that. And the reason why is because I'm choosing not to run into it, meaning that I haven't bought in, because that is a perspective. It's like, man, I got all the haters. You listen to different songs and like, man, everyone's hating on me. And like, now, of course, they say that if you haven't made it, then, or if you don't have any haters, you haven't made it, right? But again, that's another perspective that someone pushed forward, because when you listen to music and you hear different songs, like, man, all the haters. Although I did do a TikTok on this, or how I deal with trolls. So, but I tell you, on my TikTok videos, I only got maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe a handful of people that said some nasty things. And you know how I took care of it? Kill them with kindness, just like Mama told us to say. And I can understand your perspective. That's what we're talking about today. I says, but if you notice my channel, it's all about positivity. It's about peace and love. And if you'd like, I can see where you're coming from. But what I do is I don't fight. Well, period. I can just stop there. I was going to say, I don't fight back, because if you fight, then it only brings more fight. So, yeah. But if you can recognize one truth or figure out why would this hater say this to you? Why would they try to make you feel bad? And it's because they're empty, isn't it? I mean, usually.
Well, it's because it's easier, and they're looking for that fight because that's what spurs them on. They're looking for that person to then banter with, and that's, probably what they're going for. So when you don't engage them, you're cutting off the head of their fight, because you're not going to engage that fight or that dialogue they're trying to engage you in, which is inflammatory or insensitive rhetoric. And it's best just to ignore it. And you're right.
People like they're doing their duty too, because they've already adopted the perspective that they have. And when they see that you have freedom or that you're happy, it's like, well, no, you don't understand. Oh, that's right. I did have another one. That's where I said that it was talking about Carl Jung, shadow work. I said that the secret to shadow work is forgiveness. And I had 2 girls jump up all over me with this one, like going, Carl Jung never said this, blah, 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 blah. They did a whole video, and just like they put a big no, like you have the circle with a slash through it. So it says no forgiveness. They literally put no forgiveness on the front of their video with my picture, and I'm like, really? Come, you don't want anyone to forgive me? They go, you got to feel it. I'm like, I didn't say you don't feel it, but some people are just stuck in wanting to feel the anger. Oh, this bad thing happened. I'm going to go in my shadow and just feel angry. I'm going to feel it. And guess what? They're still angry. They're still angry, but I'm not. But I told them that, and I'm like, the fastest path is forgiveness, because you can, if you bring your vibration up way above anger, they want to be down here in the anger. But that's because people are down here in the shame, or they got hurt, they got beat up, and they're in shame. But if you look at David Hawkins' scale of energies, you know, anger will get you there, but it's really, anger is still a low vibration. And I say that if you want to do your shadow work, the quickest way is to jump up here into forgiveness. If you forgive everyone, then you can jump into kindness, happy. I mean, you can just, that's acceptance. These are super high vibrations. And that's what it's all about. Ultimate reality surfing is all about bringing your vibration really high so you can truly start manifesting quicker and better. But anyways, that's a perspective.
Yeah, keeping yourself that high. Everybody wants you to join their pity party when they're there, but they don't want you to raise their high vibration. They're angry at you for trying to get them to raise their vibration. So it's a mindset, and it's a positive. Pity parties are a negative focus and a perspective shift.
And it gets a lot of attention. That's why they find that negative information grabs thousands and thousands of people's attention. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That is a clickbaitable, path for a lot of people, because that's what news is, in a sense. We talked about at the beginning. Yeah. The reason you follow the news is because that's the message and that's the vibration very low down here that they're going for to draw you in. And it works because so many people are on the lower astral plane of vibration. Everyone is always sad. Everyone's always shame. They feel shame because the church said that I was supposed to do this, but I'm or not do this. I'll go to hell, and I'm doing that. So they're always down here in this low vibration. And so when they put out that information to attract a lot of fishes out there, then what they're attracting is that the mass majority is that low vibration. So the entertainment's low vibration, but then it's just a perpetual, it never stops. I mean, unless people wake up, right? Let me just check the news to find out what country flag I hate this week. I feel like that's all the news is nowadays, but they're catching you. They're right. They're hooking you because the low vibration works, and that's how they can get you to come back and feed you again.
Why does anyone watch this or listen to this podcast or watch this on YouTube when they're watching us? Because I mean, we're being too positive. What's wrong?
I think we have a good positive vibrational shift, and what you're trying to do for people is to give them a chance to find out where their lack is, and then raise their vibration so that they can lead their optimum life. Mm-hmm. And that's really that's a gift you can give to anybody. If the news shifted focus and said, "Here's how you could benefit your life," tragedies are horrible all around the world, but we're going to focus on that because it's going to bring you down. It's going to make you sad. We're not going to tell you what you can do in your own neighborhood to make things better, because that's not our plan of attack. We're trying to give you a different breath of fresh air, just to have a different perspective shift.
And that's it. So if we can shift our perspective, then we'll start feeling happier. And the more happy you feel, then that happiness is a really much higher vibration than shame, sadness, even anger. Happy is way up here on the scale. So if we can get up to the higher scales, then we can actually then start to manifest better lives. Your health gets better. Your relationships get better, because if you're magnetized up here in happiness, then what kind of people, once you're vibrating at that level, because you shifted your perspective, well, next thing you know, you're pulling in better opportunities, better people, better experiences in life. You're not tripping and hurting your toe in the morning anymore. You're not.
Tell you about an amusing anecdote about my perspective and how it shifted. I was out on a walk yesterday with my dog, and 3 other dogs came racing at us without leashes on. And I saw a woman who had fallen like a block ahead. So I was able to get those dogs, all 3 of them, they're, small dogs, and take them. And then I was able to flag down a neighbor, and the neighbor took the dogs like 3 blocks up to where they lived. So they didn't get hurt. They didn't get run over. And then I kept walking. So I was able to give the dogs back to their owner after they had escaped from the fence. With you? I had my dog with me, and there were 3 other dogs that came and were playing, and I got all 3 dogs and I gave them to a neighbor to return to the home. And then I found the keys of the woman that had fallen down. So I was stressed. I kind of thought I need to get these keys back to this person because they were to her house, her car, and I didn't know her from the neighborhood. So I posted a message, but I was really just trying to say the events will unfold that allow me to give this person their keys back. And then the afternoon came and I had to go to the store. So I was driving and I stopped a neighbor of mine on the street. And I said, you wouldn't happen to know this woman that got knocked down this morning? And he said, well, that's my wife. And I manifested him on my walk or my drive out of the neighborhood and was able to give him the keys that his wife didn't even know that she lost and give him back to him. So it was just a happy event that, like, if I let that run over me and like cause stress in my day, it would have been a negative event. But I made it happy for the people that lost the dog, that took the dogs back, that lost their keys, that fell down. And I just feel rewarded by that situation yesterday. Even though it was sad that she got knocked down, still, I was able to make it better for everybody.
That's awesome. Yeah, a similar thing happened to my sister was, visiting, my father has dementia. So we've been taking care of him. And but she lost her keys and it's nighttime. So, we're retracing her tracks through the driveway back we searched the truck. We have that theater room. So I got all my theater seats and she sat in 2 different ones. So we took the theater seats and picked them up. We searched everywhere for the keys. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh yeah, I'm a law of attraction guy, but I didn't say this out loud to them, but I says, I'll just, do this. And I don't care, that you let go. So I just thought, okay, we'll find them, and it doesn't have to be me. Sometimes, when you're trying to manifest something, you think, I want to be the one that manifests it so I can get a little credit and people know my value, but you don't do that. It's better not to do that. So what I did is I just said, I don't care who finds them, but just help my sis get, and I started visualizing her driving home or giving hugs goodbye, visualized all those things. And then it was my nephew that he looked in the same spot that my brother and I both looked in, and my sister, and he found him. It was in between the console by where you clip the belt buckle in.
I told you they were in the car.
That's true. No, this is a different situation. It was my brother. This is a different one. That's right. But the thing is I didn't worry about it. I let it go, but I just did the quick visualization, let it go. And then boom, they found him. Just, because sometimes when you get in that situation and you're like going, oh, this is stressful. What's going to happen? And then you want to insert yourself into the movie that you're watching, which is your movie. Don't forget, you are the star of your own movie. But when you just let go and do your visualization and then let go of it. And that's what you did. And what's so funny is that happened to you yesterday. That's what happened to me yesterday. That's awesome.
Allow the perspective to shift and look what unfolds.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of times we can have a situation like that and it causes us stress. By the way, when that was all over, it was my brother Tom. He says, wow. He says, that was like a treasure hunt and Jeremiah won and it was fun. It was fun. So we could take anything that might feel negative, like the stress that you get with losing your keys, and turn it into a treasure hunt. And then there was a winner. I didn't win, but hey, we all win. And it was fun. So whenever you're in those stressful situations, you can change your perspective by saying, I'm having fun. It's all working out and I'm having fun. You know what I mean? Life is good and I'm having fun. But yeah, that time flew by pretty quick, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Well, thank you. It was great. I didn't know about that. I appreciate you telling me.
Thank you for sharing your story too. That was awesome.
It's time to head out.
Yeah. So how can people find you, Todd?
Oh, if they want to find me, they can look online and go to Reality Forecast on YouTube or go to realityforecast.com to learn more about my training courses on awakening self-healing and on remote viewing. I teach 6-week courses on both of those to make sure people can elevate themselves and learn remote viewing as it should be taught.
Yeah,
by me.
Todd has an incredible course. It's extensive. It's twice a week for a couple hours, and then, but he really gets you in the energy zone. And there's so many techniques to learn. But there's document. You know, you have to fill out documents and documents. But in the class, you're not alone. Everyone's working together with this energy, and it's amazing. So definitely go to check out Todd Ronan at realityforecast.com. And if you want to check me out, hit ultimaterealitysurfing.com. Put the www in though, or you can just Google Ultimate Reality Surfing and you'll find me. But hey, run over to ultimaterealitysurfing.com and download a free copy of Designing Your Perfect Reality.
It's a lot of fun.
Into something.
Please like and subscribe.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Perfect.